Robert Horry, he was on Afternoon Drive yesterday. I mean, that's some strong stuff about what he said about the Cavs getting tougher. He was surprised that so many sat with injuries there. See, it's tough because, guys, I don't play basketball. So there's so many times, and I don't play professional football, I don't play professional baseball. It's hard for me to start the speculation of how hurt are you? How injured are you? You're right there in front of everybody wearing street clothes, for crying out loud. It's got to be something where you know that people are chirping at him if things aren't going that well. And here's Robert Horry, a 7-time champion. I lost count how many times he's won championships, for crying out loud. And you got Robert Horry on Afternoon Drive yesterday, which was a tremendous interview with those two guys. Hear that, 923thefan.com, saying that he was shocked that so many Cavs were sitting with injuries. I mean, kind of calling them out in so many ways. I don't mean to rehash that, but it was just such strong commentary. I had to play it for everybody because yesterday you and I turned the mentions off because I knew it was going to catch hell because I knew that people weren't going to get the context out of it, and I'm tired of looking for context on the internet. It's the wrong place to look for it. But there was a clip that was put out of you and I talking about, well, Tom Thibodeau has been let go. What does this mean for Kenny Atkinson? Is the clock already ticking on Kenny Atkinson? And I knew that people were going to overreact. I knew that was going to happen. And they did. How could you say this about the defending coach of the year? And I'm thinking, go ahead and look at the league. Go ahead and look at the league. Yeah, I can't get mad over people getting mad because you got to look at what this league is. These guys are waiting to be fired in the NBA. So I'm sorry if you had a problem with hearing about Kenny Atkinson's future after failing to make the Eastern Conference Finals, going to the same place J.B. Bickerstaff took the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, I know he was coach of the year. Does these things not seem to be hollow? After you fail to make the Eastern Conference Finals, you fail to meet expectations. Was he or was he not brought in to have them go further? I'm not trying to be mean about Kenny Atkinson. I like Kenny Atkinson, and I wish him very much well. He's the head coach of my basketball team. But I'm telling you right now, this is what this league is, and somebody will answer for it if they can't get any further next year.
Well, and good coaches. Nobody's saying Kenny Atkinson's not a really good coach. I thought what he did this year was incredible, and he gave me, the cynic of all cynics, he gave me reason to believe going into the postseason. Now, unfortunately, for myriad reasons, the postseason did not work out. It's what the Cavs, not only we're going to be talking about all offseason, the Cavs have to be struggling to understand the outcomes in the postseason because I'm sure all their models that they constructed, all their analytical data, and then the eye test, well, they were just a different team in the playoffs. So it's having to come to grips with why are we, with all these advantages that we thought we had, why could we not get further than 5 games into the second round? It had to be staggering for them, but it also forces you to I won't say necessarily make tough decisions, but it forces them to have some tough realities because the organization does have to know this is 3 straight years that they have underperformed in the playoffs. Yes. And I don't even mean like second round. They were supposed to lose to Boston last year, but that Orlando series, that was underperforming. Yeah. Playing a team that had no playoff pedigree whatsoever, and that was not supposed to be 7 games, and you picked your opponent. Go back the year before. Nobody had the Cavs losing to the Knicks. As much as I tried to warn people the Knicks were a very just opponent and they could challenge us, I did not think we were going to lose to the Knicks, and nobody. We took calls. You talking Pacers or Knicks? The year before. I'm saying Knicks. And we took calls and calls and calls, and people saying, "Oh, we're gonna easily dismantle the Knicks." So this has been Lloyd before that series. Right? Yeah, this has been 3 straight years that has been the case. And so they have to figure that out. What is it? What are they missing? We know right after the season, they talked about mental and physical toughness. There are people around the league that think the Cavs are soft. It just is. And there's nothing the Cavs can do this offseason to change that that's how they're looked at. That's how they're perceived. And unfortunately, we have to wait another year. I mean, almost another 11 months to get back into the playoffs to end all these narratives that have been here for 3 years, unfortunately.
And the only thing you can do is just beat it into the ground and beat the dead horse as many times as you can until they get sick of it. Well, that's the only thing you can do. Because if it's going to be this team coming back, and as of right now, I have to think it is. We haven't even started the NBA Finals yet. Real quick, they haven't even started the NBA Finals yet. I know that people are throwing around some wild scenarios. I'm sure there will be more realistic scenarios right after the finals. but you have a short window in between the finals and July 1st where you need to make a decision on these things, especially with the money going up. And there will be a window and a very slim chance you can make moves. So if you keep this same team, which is still the most likely outcome to me, if you keep this same team, you're going to have to do something because you just can't keep sitting out there and living off the good vibes and all the other stuff that happens. It goes right back to disappointment. But I want to replay this, not replay Robert Horry from the earlier comment. I want to play something that he said later on in the interview about what that Tom Thibodeau firing means for other NBA coaches.
I think the NBA doesn't allow the coaches to be as critical of players and more hands-on because now, players now are so sensitive. If you get on to them, they think you're being mean to them and I want out or I want you fired. Sometimes they get it confused that means strong love is not love. And that hurts a lot of these coaches. You look at Thibodeau, you think about everywhere Tibbs went, he's been a winner. He had the little run-in with Jimmy Butler in Chicago, but he's still a winner. And, he makes you toe the line. I think a coach makes you be responsible for yourself and your teammates. A lot of guys don't want to do that.
It's tremendous commentary from him. Again, 92throughthefan.com. I don't think Kenny Atkinson certainly isn't some heavy-handed type of disciplinarian coach or anything like that. I think that he expects guys to be responsible for themselves. He treats them as professionals. Maybe I have to look more from Donovan Mitchell. I mean, you go back to what Donovan Mitchell had said in the postseason press conference after it was all done, and saying you guys are going to say that we're soft. You guys are going to write that we're soft and we're a disappointment. And he said in that commentary, he had said, you really should because they have to bear that responsibility. I think he's talking to the media through it like, hey, these guys, they got to get tougher. And they're not going to be able to do what they need to do unless they are able to raise their expectations. Remember, the criticism that we've had has nothing to do with Donovan Mitchell in so many ways. We know Donovan's tough. We know Donovan does what he can. He uses every single ounce of 6'3" to be able to try to take this team further. I can't find myself as critical of Donovan Mitchell because he gets everything I expect out of him. I expect great performances. Do I expect greatest of all time performances? No. I don't find him to be a 1%er. I find him to be a great basketball player, and I think there is a difference. But he's going to need that help from those other guys, and I think he knows that in his heart of hearts. So Evan's going to have to grow up. And if we need to get Evan to take more shots, then damn it, Evan's going to have to slap the table and tell people that he's got to take more shots. And that means Darius is going to have to be forced to do something like that. And I know everybody loves Jared Allen. He's a fan favorite, but you're going to need something different out of Jared Allen. You are going to need to raise those expectations. Because I got former Cavs players coming on with us saying, quote, how he got his ass beat in the postseason. I didn't say it. Channing Frye said that. Channing Frye, NBA champion. I mean, these are former guys, champions, guys with rings saying this about you. You are going to have to step your game up.
Well, there's no doubt to me that was one of the big symptoms of a larger problem in the final game of that series and really throughout the series that a banged up Darius Garland, who I do think gutted it out to play. I know people say toe, whatever. I saw him. He's falling over himself. He clearly was not the same player. And then it got into the mental side of things. Why was he still taking more shots than Evan Mobley? Who did the Pacers have that could defend Evan Mobley? They had nobody. And Evan was playing some bully ball and getting easy baskets, and yet they couldn't get him the ball. I think that's a bigger question about how they start to evolve this offense. If they're not going to change the core, then they have to start to change the way they play to get ready for the playoffs. And that means that the ball is in Darius and Donovan's hands a little bit less because, as we know, in the playoffs, your small guards can only take you so far handling the basketball consistently. Eventually, your unicorn needs to take shots in tighter situations. That's where the playoffs are kind of won and lost.